St Albans Secondary College is a pretty big school.
It's located in St Albans, a suburb in Melbourne, Australia.
It has a great environment around it. Everybody here is supportive.
It's a very multicultural school with a whole bunch of events to offer, programs that students can undertake regarding leadership.
They really encourage you to be what you want, and they help you with your subject choices, and they help you try and achieve your goals.
And it's fairly enjoyable to come here.
When we started the numeracy work, the approach to assessment, to diagnostic use of data was quite individual.
We were excellent at collecting data, guns of data. Everyone had Excel spreadsheets. Everyone had conditional formatting on their Excel spreadsheets and things like this, but we didn't really know what to do with it. In the course of the next 3 years, what we've done is we've created a bit of a cycle where you get the data and we look at this particular band of students that were making low growth. What proactive programs or what do we have in place to help supplement these students?
And people went and did some investigation. They looked at programs at other schools and they did a bit of research on the GRIN program as well. That's what they chose as their model, and a group of staff went and did the training. So we supported them to do that training, and we supported them with obviously with the allocation of time to that program. And it was introduced on a sort of trial basis, I suppose, in its first year, but it's been really successful.
The GRIN program is a program where they take students out of class and they help them with their math skills.
They teach us key things that we'd be learning in our classroom, but they'd understand what we didn't get about it, stuff that we couldn't do normally in class.
And she would teach us stuff that our teacher wouldn't really explain in detail in class, and she'll make sure we understand it before she moves on.
We probably have, I think at the moment, 5 GRIN tutors, and that means that there will be 5 groups of 3 students this semester that all benefit from this program.
You do find you've got to get the right student for the program. You really have to get the right students.
We need students that first of all have very, very good attendance. They need to also be not behaviour problems, not modified students, that is working very below expected.
So somewhere between your 40s and your 50s, with a little bit of confidence, a little bit of instruction, can jump up into, say, a 65, a 70, and then the momentum takes over. And then a 70 becomes a 75, and a 75 becomes an 80. And before you know it, these students are really excelling in a subject and a topic that they really intimidated by.
First I saw it as singling me out as probably one of the worst mathematicians in my class at the time. After seeing it help me, I kind of gave up that idea.
I always felt like in VCE I would do really bad in maths and I wouldn't really pass it.
I didn't like maths that much because I didn't really have the skills to more or less keep up with the class. I was often kind of falling behind. I didn't understand what was being taught to me.
For each of the GRIN tutors, we have a 2-period allowance each week, which is 100 minutes. And that 100 minutes constitutes a minimum of 45 minutes face-to-face with the students. We also need to have meeting time with the teachers of the students that we have in our GRIN program. We do need to meet, sit down, talk about what was done last lesson, what did the teacher require of the GRIN tutor for the following lesson. Okay, so last GRIN session we went through those things about how to measure using a protractor, what an angle was. We looked at angles about a point.
Super, exactly. I mean, they already knew vertically opposite.
Yep.
There's a little bit of revision from year 7. Obviously complementary, supplementary angles, stuff like that, they were pretty good with. Towards the end of the exercise, they started to struggle a little bit with some of those trickier sort of enrichment style questions, but overall, they just look so much more comfortable and more confident. The literacy aspect they really knew, so I suppose moving to 2B now, we want to try and nail that because the literacy aspect of this.
And this topic's got such a lot of words in it, hasn't it? It's got a very strong vocabulary focus.
If you're not good at the literacy aspect, you get lost really easy.
On a day when I've got the GRIN program students, I would go to their room and I would collect them. Excuse me, Mr. McIntyre, could I just have my GRIN students, please?
Yeah, certainly.
Thanks. We'll be about 15 minutes.
Not a problem.
Good. Always check that they're not doing anything that's vital in that lesson, if it's an assessment task or something that they really can't miss. If it maybe is something that they need to be there for the first 10 minutes of the lesson, I can come back. So we're ready for some GRIN? How did you feel in the last maths lesson? Give yourself a score out of 10.
7 maybe?
A 7? Okay. And when we get into the room, I then record what they reckon their score for the previous lesson would be out of 10. And then the reasons for that. Usually things like I could put up my hand, I could answer some of the questions that the teacher asked.
They would start off by telling us the main points of the new topic we'll be learning in class before we even started in class, so we would have an idea of what we're about to learn and do. She would give us examples to work with, and she'll ask each of us to try to solve it, and if we can't, she'll explain to us. Even if we still don't understand it, she'll always make sure we'll understand it before she moves on.
And you've shown that they're parallel by your little arrows. Do you think you could draw? We sit round a table, we have our little whiteboards, we have our whiteboard markers. It's all about minimal writing for the students. It's more about talking. They don't come with any equipment, they don't need to bring pens, pencils or paper.
Your regular classrooms, it's big and it's intimidating, but when you go in a little small group, it's kind of like a one-on-one with other people there.
There's particular students that have grown and have really developed, and they're averaging an E in Year 8 mathematics. And then you look at results in Year 10. You talk to them and you hear that they've grown in confidence. Just the way they speak, just the way that you talk to them, you can see them more confident.
After doing the GRIN program, I am, for the most part, very confident at maths. Normally I wouldn't really struggle as much anymore. I now find maths to be very enjoyable, and I don't hate it at all now.
In class before GRIN, I was doing really bad and I just didn't really have hope. But after the GRIN program, they taught me how to break down types of maths problems to make it easier for myself to solve.
It helped me try and keep up with the class a bit better.
And now for these students to come out, some of these students are at the top end maths, doing your maths methods Year 11, that's where they're projected to go.
We are incredibly fortunate to have a dedicated and really highly skilled staff who are committed to that improvement for each student. We also have students who do have very high expectations for their learning and for their pathways beyond the school. So there is that culture that exists here, and we're really proud of that culture.